I'm here at Vondel Park today, and today I wanted to speak about a simple explanation for repression of memories of sexual abuse from childhood. For those of you who don't know, till 3 years ago I had no recall of my sexual abuse, and then it started slowly emerging through 2021 through a series of entheogenic journeys. And ever since, I have wondered, why does repression happen? Why do these horrific abuse memories get repressed? What is the mechanism of consciousness that allows for this to happen? And if you do the research on this, there are many different theories. The simplest one that I have encountered that also feels true in my experience is that before you know what sex is, as a child, if you are introduced to sex in a horrific manner, then that is your normality of that experience. So you, as a child, you trust everything to be normal, and unless someone tells you otherwise. So if you have not been educated about good touch and bad touch by your parents, and especially boys, I think, do not receive this. I know for a fact that when I had first brought up this subject with my mom, her initial response was, I just didn't know that boys get raped in childhood. She just wasn't aware that that happened. So she shared some of these good touch, bad touch ideas with my sister, but did not really bring it up to me. Just pretty heartbreaking on a broader scale, because there is so many, the statistics for the number of boys getting sexually abused is pretty horrific. They say 1 in 6 men have experienced sexual abuse before they reach maturity and adulthood. The actual numbers are probably even worse. So I imagine that the repression is basically just a tucking away of the act into this big box of normal. Like, you eat a sandwich for lunch, that is normal. You get raped, that is also normal. You get masturbated, that is normal. You go play football with your friends, that is normal. So all of these things are normal, and it's only when I learned what is good touch, what is bad touch experientially, and to emphasize this point, I only learned that by many women repeatedly holding up their boundaries in a way where I was touching them in misattuned manner. So thank God that they did that, because the more they did that, the more I realized what is consensual touch, what isn't. It just opened up. It started jiggling that box of normal in my consciousness till it got to a breaking point, and then suddenly a bunch of memories started flooding through, and that included these memories of sodomy, fellatio, being masturbated. It's a dog that's getting really excited in the back. It's quite an experiment talking about a subject like this in an open space with the energies of people walking by. It's a grounding exercise in itself to stay present and grounded. So that is one explanation of just things happening in childhood being shoved under this big normal box, and then once you learn what is good touch and what is not good touch, suddenly that labeling of normal to some of the things that have happened to you might start creating discomfort in your system, and if you can hold that discomfort, then the memories come up. And then I had a conversation recently with a brother who has also gone through this journey of recovery of repressed memories of childhood sexual abuse. And in that conversation, one aspect of his story was that his perpetrator took him to this nice fancy restaurant and offered him wine, red wine. And it's kind of ridiculous that there could be an older man and a younger boy at a restaurant, and the older man is buying red wine for the boy, and no one in the restaurant is like responding to that. Oh, this yapping dog is like really excited. But that just opened up my own awareness to another possibility of a much simpler reason for repression, which is alcohol and drugs. Like, it's very likely that child sex perpetrators are feeding like alcohol and drugs to children, getting them knocked out before abusing them. And it's very likely that that was my experience in some situations. At least I don't know if that was always the case. Because I definitely have some memories where I feel full conscious awareness, like I was fully consciously present. And yeah, it just makes sense that there would be child sex assault situations where substances, intoxicants are being used. And it just broadens my own horizon of how repression might have happened. You know, it's just like a day trip. Like, that is what happens on a classic day trip. So I wanted to present this idea, and I'm curious what your own journey has been with repression and how you managed to make sense of it for yourself. Like, why do you think your memories were repressed? Would love to hear thoughts, comments, reflections in the comment section. And I hope you all have a beautiful, beautiful day. It's a beautiful sunny day in Amsterdam, and that you're more grounded than this like yapping dog behind me. You can bring some like relaxation into your system. And you might have noticed me do this at one point in the middle of the video. It's like another like energy practice to ground down, to kind of send the energy down instead of going up, which is what happens when I get triggered or excited by those triggers. Thank you so much. I'm gonna go and enjoy the rest of my day now.